Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to go over this video really quick. This is an old clip, and I want to shout out to beautiful one. She inspired me to actually check this out. Well, I guess no, this is her page, by the way. Yeah, this is beautiful one's page. All right, when I'm done, I'll show you her page. You guys can go over there and check it out. See? And I'm gonna put the link in the description of the video upload. All right, let's go.
Production and was being used to treat breast cancer. So there's a clear conflict of interest there, a clear problem. The other problems are that something like 90% of the seeds that we use to produce our food right now are owned by the big six pesticide companies. So again, there's a conflict of interest where the companies have an interest in I guess, getting us addicted to the pesticides to grow the seeds that they also own. And Syngenta, of course, is one of those big six, one of the big pesticide or agribusiness companies.
And a New Yorker article that delves into your story also says that you came to find out that the company was also reading your emails. Could you talk about that?
Well, I had some suspicion that they had hacked into my email, and I originally found out there was a professor at Minnesota, and I was going there to give a big lecture, and this professor in the School of Public Health, Deb Dubinovsky, said that she happened to be standing in line at the airport flying back to Minnesota, and just by coincidence, she was standing behind somebody who was having a conversation on his cell phone and who identified himself as an employee of Syngenta, and he made the statement, we have access to his email, we know where he is at all times. So it wasn't just paranoia on my part. I had direct evidence that they had access to my email, and at the time I maintained a second and a third email that I could keep private, and I actually used that information that they had access to my email to send them information, and sometimes false information, for example, booking plane tickets through that email, because then I could send them to the wrong place so they wouldn't.
Yo, you man are laughing about a serious experience this man I talk about, you know. The more I listen to that story, you know.
Necessarily be there to follow me when I was going to speak in other places.
I mean, Professor Hayes, this is stunning stuff that came out in this class action suit. The suit wasn't brought by you, but the documents that came out that referenced you, Tyrone Hayes, TH, and trying to discredit you, trying to discredit your family. That was a lawsuit that involved atrazine contaminating water supplies. But what was your reaction when you saw this? You suspected this, you felt you were being followed, you felt they were trying to discredit you, but now you had the documents.
Well, you know, it's funny. The way the article reads that, you know, I suspected. I mean, I knew Tim Pester, I knew Sherry Ford, I knew many of the individuals who would follow me around. I knew who they were. I knew they had access to my email. You know, so for me, I knew that these things were happening. This guy would directly come up and make lewd comments to me and threatening comments to me. But it was the kind of thing where, you know, it sounded like something out of a movie. I couldn't go and tell my colleagues, like, they're following me around and, you know, they're hacking into my email.
Did you put on a tape recorder?
Yo, that brother, I take this too good. He's taking this way too good, bruh. He's smiling about this. Yo, can you imagine somebody tracking you via your email, every communication you, like where you're gonna go, where you're gonna be, it goes to their phone. That there's no privacy. So with this NIDS thing that they come in with in Jamaica, what y'all think? How y'all think that's gonna factor in? Right? Your information online.
You know, what I found, here's how I'll answer that question. What I found out that it was much more powerful for me to suggest and have them think that I recorded everything than for them to actually know what I recorded. And that actually became sort of my protection. So when this guy came up and threatened me and threatened my wife, to then go back and go, oh my God, did he record that or not? So it was much more powerful for me to have them think that. But you can see in their handwritten notes that they were very concerned that I was recording conversations. There's notes that they wanted to trap me, to entice me to sue, and these kinds of things. And my reaction now to see it all in the New Yorker and for, you know, all this open for the world to see is, there are two reactions. One is, I can't believe they wrote these kinds of things down, right? That you're plotting to you know, investigate me and investigate my school and investigate my hometown and all these kinds of things, and you wrote it down. But my other response is, this is quite analogous to when you hear these stories of somebody who's been in jail for murder for 10 years and then the DNA evidence gets them out, and you ask them, are you happy? Well, of course I'm happy. But I've also been in jail for 10 years, you know what I mean? So of course I'm happy now that these documents have all been revealed, but it's also been a very difficult time for me and for my family, for the last 10 or 15 years, for my students as well, for the last 10 or 15 years to be pursued this way and to be under a microscope this way and to feel threatened this way for so long.
As we wrap up, what's happening with that?
Man, I mean, a scientist has so much on his plate enough already. But to add this level of stress for what, son? For what? That, man, I don't know.
Atrazine today, where does it stand?
It's still on the market. We're still studying it. A number of studies are still coming out from around the world. One recent study has shown that male babies that are exposed in utero to atrazine, their genitals don't develop properly. Their penis doesn't develop properly, or they get microphallus. There's studies showing that sperm count goes down when you're exposed to atrazine. And this is not just laboratory animals or animals in the wild. This is also humans. We use the same hormones that animals do for our reproduction, and it's a big threat to environmental health and public health.
I want to thank you very much for being with us. Tyrone Hayes, a professor.
Why is that important, this guy? The test that he did on the frogs, ladies and gentlemen, at that point showed some of the frogs actually turning into females. Male frogs, exposure to some of the chemicals that allegedly is approved in our foods. And allegedly, well, not allegedly, what happened to the frogs is that their male body parts, some of them changed totally to female, and then some of them shrinked. And they're saying the amount that us men consume, yeah, it can affect us as well. I just thought I would throw this in there as some added information for you guys. Yeah, you probably need to take a look at this. I will be posting this video separately. But let's finish up.
Professor of Integrative Biology at the University of California, Berkeley, has devoted the past 15 years to studying atrazine, a widely used herbicide made by Syngenta. We'll link to the article in the New Yorker magazine that reveals how the company tried to discredit Professor Hayes after his research showed atrazine causes sexual abnormalities in frogs and could cause the same problems for humans. The article is called...
You hear that? Sexual abnormalities in frogs and could possibly cause the same in humans. Man, listen. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Lord have mercy.
Valuable reputation after Tyrone Hayes said that a chemical was harmful. Its maker pursued him. This is Democracy Now! We'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comment section about that one. Let me know what you think about that one, ladies and gentlemen.